they could still make a BCS bowl without winning their conference. So, but if they lose this, they can't. So they need to win this game. For Baylor, must win. All right, now we move. I'm gonna.
You like my prediction?
Oh yeah, prediction. I take Baylor. Their offense is too good for Texas.
Baylor it is.
All right, I'm going to pass over the SEC and Pac-12 championships real quick because I think those are the games we should talk about in a little bit. We are going to talk about first number 20 Duke, 10-2, 6-2 in the ACC. A shocking team so far this season. This is a team. They're from Duke. Duke doesn't play football. What are you guys talking about? Well, guess what? They have 10 wins. Their 2 losses coming. I'm sure they're not loving this now, but they had lost against Georgia Tech and they lost by 3 at Pitt. But it's a very, very interesting setup. Duke is the underdog and Florida State is the best in the land, powered by Jameis Winston, who looks to be back for this game, no problem. This is a very, very interesting game. The Blue Devils are ranked 20th, yet still they are going to be huge underdogs in this game. Sadly enough, though, I cannot pick the upset in this one as I see Florida State pulling out the victory and winning the ACC championship game.
May I give you an exclusive here?
You may.
There is something going on in Alabama. Alabama just held a mandatory players-only meeting. This has spurred speculation that Nick Saban might just be moving to Texas.
Well then, that is big news in the player speculation. Do you have any more info or just that?
Just that, just by word of mouth of a... Wait. Time out.
Yes. You have the floor.
3 hours ago, on college spun Matt Lombardi said this. Nick Saban to Texas rumors squashed for now. Source tells Yahoo Sports there's nothing to do any Saban rumors in Texas. The Football Brainiacs, however, have tweeted that 2 good sources have reported that Nick Saban going to Texas is a done deal. Technically, Mac Brown is still the head coach there, but guess what? This could be legitimate.
And you look at if Mac Brown, I think Mac Brown would definitely, him and Saban obviously know each other, and I'm assuming very well as they are both successful coaches. I think Mac Brown would be very okay with retiring if he knows Nick Saban is coming in.
I think you know what? The more I'm reading, the more it's looking like he's going to come in. Nick Saban to Texas could be official sooner than you think. Wednesday night, several sources have been saying that Saban to Texas is a done deal. Guys, this could be a huge change in the football landscape.
It could be. And we look at Baylor coming up and Oklahoma State as Big 12 powers. Maybe Texas is going to come fighting back. All right, do you have Duke or Florida State?
I have Florida State. Listen, I love a good underdog. You know I want Jordan Lynch to win if it means I have to root for Duke.
Hey, what's your issue with rooting for Duke?
What's my issue with rooting for Duke?
Oh, right, you have issues with their basketball program.
Duke, I have an issue with their basketball program. I have an issue with their lacrosse program. I have an issue with a lot of things about Duke.
Alrighty then. I happen to root for their football team as often as I can. And I am still not. I would love them to win this game, but Florida State's winning this game. Alright, moving on. Let's talk about the Mountain West Championship game real quick. Utah State, 7-1 in the Mountain West, 8-4 overall, and Fresno State getting shocked by San Jose State as David Fales comes through in the clutch to take out Derek Carr, and now 23rd ranked, Fresno State killing any BCS hopes the Bulldogs had. This was not Derek Carr's fault by any means, as this was a shootout like no other, really. A crazy, crazy game. Fresno State's D could not hold the San Jose State offense one bit, though, as Fresno State is now basically just playing for the Top Mountain West Bowl, which I'm assuming is not as good as the BCS one. Alright, the Aggies probably are not going to win this, no matter how you spin it. I'm sorry, Fresno State is winning this game over Utah State.
We miss you, Chucky Keaton. Fresno State moves on. Raisins for everybody.
Yay. Alrighty then. Now we move into the three big games as well. You have Ohio State, number 2 in the nation, looking to basically clinch its spot going into the national championship game. It'd be very hard for them to win this game and not make the championship game, especially playing a very good team in number 10, Michigan State. Michigan State is 11-1, 8-0 in the Big Ten. Their only loss to Notre Dame. Ohio State 12-0, 8-0 in Big Ten play, riding a very long win streak at this moment, the longest in the nation, as they have their second straight undefeated regular season. I am going to pick Sparty in this game. I have Michigan State pulling off the upset as they have the best run defense in the nation. And they are going to be... And they have the best defense in the nation. This is not just my opinion. This is many people's opinion. Michigan State is the best defense in the nation, and they are going to be able to stop Ohio State.
Well, many people's opinion was that George Bush would be a great president. How'd that turn out?
Not great.
Okay. Let me tell you something. There are opinions, and then there are facts. And the fact is that Michigan State, like all good teams, must learn to win on the road against the big boys.
Hey, guess what? You want to know something else about this game?
The Spartans have not... Listen.
Hey, you want to know something about this game, though? No, Jake, I need to tell you something about this game. This game is not on the road, dude.
I know. It's in Indianapolis.
Yeah, so...
Doesn't matter. Is it in Lansing?
No, but you're...
No.
Come on, Jake.
What have they done away from Lansing?
Jake.
Let's talk about what they've done away from Lansing. No. Just hear me out. Here are the tests they have had away from Lansing. In Iowa. In Illinois. In Nebraska. In Northwestern. They won those games. In Notre Dame, which they lost. And now you expect me to believe that the team who is 95th in the nation in passing yards per game, 64th in the nation in points for,
but 4th in the nation in points against.
4th. That's not the best defense then.
No, I'm talking about the best defense over. I'm not talking just points for. Points.
Ohio State is too efficient in the red zone to lose this game. Braxton Miller is too talented. Carlos Hyde is too talented. Listen, their rush defense is great. I'm not gonna lie, but is that really so difficult when you're playing against teams like Western Michigan, South Florida, Youngstown State?
So tell me, how did they shut down Michigan at home?
Nebraska, Northwestern.
Yeah, on the road. They shut down Michigan in the Big House.
They shut down Michigan in the Big House.
They shut them down 29-6.
This was at home.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Alright, fine. Alright, okay, whatever. Jake, they are going to win this game, and you are going to mark my words next time we are on the air.
No. I gave you facts, and you just said the same thing. I want a fact. Tell me why I'm wrong.
You want to know why you're wrong? Let's go into why you're wrong. Alright, we're going to go into why you're wrong. Ohio State is only 83rd in the nation in passing yards. Most of their offense comes from this rushing. They are 2nd in the nation in rushing, true. But that doesn't mean they're going to beat up a very good Spartan defense. No, they're going to get stuffed, and their offense is going to shreds. They average more rushing yards than passing yards, and they are no. This is why they are going to lose it. They are a rushing team, and rushing teams do not beat Ohio State. Do not beat Michigan State.
Rushing teams don't. Are you kidding? The undefeated teams beat Michigan State. Teams that actually have talent, that are playing.
Are you saying Michigan State isn't talented?
Listen, are you trying to say that Carlos Hyde could even compare to the running backs at Purdue and Illinois and Youngstown State? How dare you, Carlos Hyde?
Alright, but I can tell you one thing.
Let me learn you something.
Oh, come on.
Carlos Hyde has ran for nearly 1,300 yards this year. Braxton Miller has run for nearly 900 yards. Braxton Miller has thrown for nearly 1,800 yards. They're saying Ohio State is a rushing team. They overpower teams by running the football. And if that doesn't work, if all else fails, they will throw the ball.
And
by the way, they're not going to need to score too much. Can we talk about Michigan State's offense? Can you tell me about Michigan State's offense?
I can tell you a little bit about Michigan State's offense. I will go and find some good things for the man who apparently hates life in Lansing. I don't know. What do you have against Lansing again?
I have nothing against Lansing. Lansing is a wonderful city. I mean, Michigan can pull itself back on its feet. The state of Michigan. I'm just saying that Ohio State is giving me no reason to pick against them.
Well, I'm just saying that Michigan State is my pick for this game, and we're going to move on, Jake, because you're going a little crazy. Alright, moving on, this leads us to 2 games, and we will start with the Pac-12 championship game. It's number 7. Stanford goes to 11 Arizona State. Many people are picking Arizona State, who is 8-1 in Pac-12 play and 10-2 in overall, as Stanford is 10-2 overall and 7-2 in Pac-12 play. A very back-and-forth north between Stanford and Oregon. Both of them seem to be on track to win twice, and Stanford ended up with it. Arizona State won a game against UCLA. That was the biggest win in the last couple years for that team. That was a ginormous one, to be exact. Alright. This is a very hard game to pick. It is at Arizona State. And they have been very, very good lately. Stanford had that loss to USC, but Arizona State of late has just been very, very, very talented. I'll just say that. I mean, they have the asterisk on their win with Wisconsin, but other than that, they lost to Stanford at Stanford, but they did come back and make that a semi-close game with a very good fourth quarter comeback, and they lost by 3 at Notre Dame. Arizona State has a chance, but I think that when Stanford comes into big games, they play well. They proved that against Oregon. They proved that by winning the Rose Bowl last year. I think that Stanford takes this game.
There's a difference between Stanford and Michigan State here. Because I'm going to say things that are going to sound the same. But you're completely right when you say that they show up in big games. Here you go. On the road, this team is 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. They're 3-2 on the road. We lost to Utah and USC. And Arizona State has a lot of momentum swinging their way. However, if there's one thing stronger than home field advantage and momentum, it is experience. And Stanford has that invaluable experience that can change this game. They show up at the big games, they're going to win. I just don't see them losing this football. Scratch that. They could lose. However, Stanford shows up to the big games. You said it yourself. And I think that they will continue to do so. This is their time. They will return to the Rose Bowl.
Alright, now we go to the biggest game of the year. Not of the year, excuse me, of the week. But one of the biggest games of the year, truly. 2 teams we would... Jake, if I had told you back in the preseason that number 5 Missouri, who was 11-1 and 7-1 in the SEC, was going to play number 3 Auburn, 11-1, 7-1 in the SEC in the SEC championship game, tell me the words you would call me.
Probably some really bad Stephen A. Smith impression, considering these 2 teams went a combined 2-14 in the SEC last year.
Yes. This is not exactly expected matchup. Missouri could have been undefeated. Missouri should have been undefeated, truly.
No. I said Missouri would lose and they lost.
Yes,
It's
but
not
they should have won that game.
should-
They
first,
lost.
the